I don't know if you caught Johnny's post the other day, comparing and asking people what the average buy-in price. It was a very interesting thought experiment. And I'm going to try and remember what it said off the top of my head. But so if you bought $1,000 of a token that was at $1, or no, it was at $1,000 of a token that was at $1, and then it dropped 99%, which put it back to a penny, and then you spent another 1,000 at that penny. What would your break-even price be? And so many people answered 50 cents because
the middle.
Right. But in reality, at 2 cents, you've already doubled your 1,000, and you have 20 cents times the original 1,000 tokens. So you've technically made $20 at just from 1 cent to 2 cent. And I feel like so many people get that wrong, right? The power of buying when things go down. And that's what we're saying about the year of 2024 and how important it was to DCA. It doesn't matter if you caught actual really tops and bottoms. The truth is nobody's going to buy that perfect, the buy at $1 and then they buy more at the exact bottom. It just doesn't usually happen that way.
Right.
But it's the power of numbers and how effectively you can regain your position from just 1 cent to 2 cent. You're back in profit, technically back in profit. So, that's what this last year has been all about. And it's kind of what we've been preaching. So, I feel like a lot of our viewers have been listening and doing just that. We've got a pretty smart audience, I think. So,
it's incredibly powerful to buy at the lows. Yeah. I mean, you're exponentially decreasing, I guess you'd say, your cost basis, and just getting it at so much better prices. I'm not sure exactly what you mean, sir, but should we keep DCAing if we don't get a pump right away? I mean, the whole reason I'm DCAing is because it isn't pumping. So,
right,
I mean,
and I think go ahead. Go ahead.
I mean, basically what I was just going to say, me personally, I know Ewok agrees, as long as we are below sacrifice rate, which would be 0001 for Pulse, and honestly, probably even beyond there, I would still be buying. But below there, I don't know when the last time I had fiat sitting in a bank was, that I planned on keeping there for 2% APY. I mean, I'm basically just immediately buying. But anyway, go ahead.
What I was saying is if you believe in this long term, I think DCAing at these prices, again, it doesn't matter. You're not going to hit exact bottoms. We've probably already passed that stage. However, what you have to think about is, will these prices in a future cycle come back to these levels? And usually they don't. Even the very bottom of Hex, I mean, we're down a ways. Yes, we're down 99%. However, we're still up 100x from the bottom. So we never got back to those levels. So I think, DCAing in at some of these levels on a brand new chain, that it may not come back to. I mean, it could, but do you want to take that chance and wait for another 4 years? Or would you rather capture some of the gains, so that when it does pull back, you may have some extra to keep DCAing at that point, right? So
I just did some quick math to put it in perspective a little bit, to based off what you just said about will we get back to these prices again? Usually not at another bear market. Looking at this as conservatively as I think that any of us can be right now, and for me this is conservative, and for Ewok he probably thinks it's embarrassingly conservative. But if you figure that we're only going to get a 25x from here, for this ecosystem, or from Pulse, we'll just say right now, Pulse is at, we'll just say 4 zeros and a 5 right now. That puts it at 00125. That would be the top of the bull market for this cycle. That would be the price to put it at the top. If we had, and I was aggressive, a 95% drop on Pulse, which may not even happen. That may be too aggressive. I don't know. But if it is, that's actually still higher than where we're at right now, even. Not by much. It's 4 zeros and a 6.2. But Yeah, 25x from today with a 95% drop is still higher than where we're at right now. So just to kind of put that into perspective, and again, many people think we're going beyond 25x. Many people, and then hey, what if we only drop 90% or something? So just to put it in perspective, I mean, these are prices that I don't think we're ever really going to see again, and not for much longer. So I'm with you.
Well, I think the amount of tokens that are still out there, we will see a 95 to 98% correction. Very similar to Hex, what Hex did its first cycle. A lot of people are big bag holders. There's a lot of whales out there that have big chunks, and they will be taking off the top. They will be, creating a cascade effect essentially. And yeah, I do believe we will see a pretty sizable pullback after this cycle.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's good to plan for, obviously. Yeah, I would plan for the worst, hope for the best, obviously. So